What's going on, guys? Welcome back to The Country Investor. My name is Robert. If this is your first time tuning in. So I get a lot of questions, usually from friends, family, sometimes on messages as well, sometimes through Facebook. What's it like being unemployed? Do you like it? Do you don't get bored? You don't, do you still have like a sense of purpose and things like that? So I wanted to address that as I walk on the trail here. By the way, I'm here at our geodomes. They're called Geodomes of South Texas. We have a 1-mile walking trail. And I find a lot of peace and tranquility when I come out here and walk this trail. So that's the reason I like making videos as I walk and talk. But yeah, don't forget to check out the merch store. Check out everything down in the description as well. But excuse me. So to answer the question, do I ever get bored? Honestly, not really. And I'll kind of explain to you why. And at the end, I'll kind of give you a reason why I believe, being quote-unquote unemployed may have a bad stigma to it, attached to it, but it's actually one of the best things that could ever happen to you. And so yeah, to answer the reason I don't actually get bored is because I'm just a very busy person. I like to learn a lot of things. So like now I'm learning another language. I still come out here and I cut grass at our properties. It's not that we can't hire out. I really find cutting grass honestly enjoying and very relaxing for me. I don't do it all by myself. I do have help, but I like to be hands-on. That for me gives me a sense of purpose, being able to come out here and still work on the properties that are producing income for me. So we have our lake house, we have our geodomes, then we have rental properties as well, but just doing that alone keeps me pretty busy for the most part. Especially here in Texas, we've received a lot of rain. And I'll turn the camera around. And these guys keep me pretty dang busy. These are my dogs. So this one we're currently training right now. She's a little Rottweiler. That one's already somewhat trained. She's a little older, about 5 years old. But yeah, those two keep me busy. Yeah, so to get back to it, so like I said, it keeps me busy just doing all that. And of course, some things do come up. And I actually do consider myself pretty handy, so when things do come up, I usually handle them myself. So that's not going to be boring. That's going to keep me pretty busy as well. Now that I don't work, I have a lot more time to make YouTube videos, for one. I also have a lot more time to read books, hang out with my family, hang out with my fiance. And I'm in a much better mood now that I don't actually have a job. So now we're going to get into like moods, why I guess not having a job and kind of working for yourself, or in my case kind of being an investor, and not really having to work but choosing to work. It makes a big difference in your mentality. When you don't have to wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning, you don't have to clock in, you don't have to take a lunch break, you don't have to request time off. Mentally, I find myself wanting to do more work than when I was actually employed, because now I get the option, I have the right to choose if I want to get up and actually work that day. Like I said, we don't have to come out here and cut the grass. We could just hire that out, but I choose to do it, which makes a huge difference in your mentality and your health, your state of mind. So that's another reason I kind of believe in, being free, more of freedom. That's kind of what we want as a human species. It's not so much money. Money isn't really everything. I made some shirts. I'll link it up here right now. But the shirts say, working for freedom, not money. And that's because money isn't really, honestly, that important as far as happiness goes. It's not, how can I say it? It's still important, but it's not as important as, it's made out to be. What we really want in life is really just freedom. The freedom to choose, if we want to get up in the morning. The freedom to choose if we have to work, not to work. The freedom to choose to go on a vacation, things like that. When we don't have those freedoms, that's when things get a little more complicated, stressful. Yeah, you kind of start to not be so happy in your life. And that's because we're lacking freedom, I feel. At least particularly for me, that's how I felt, being trapped. I did have a job where I was making, a lot of money, but I wasn't happy. And so since leaving that, it's been, approaching a year and a half now at this point, that I've been on my own, doing my own thing. and I love it, guys. There's never been happier in my life. Things have, they haven't been easy. I'm not gonna say they've been easy. Heck no. You have to have, guts of steel to embark on this journey, especially if you don't have, the backing, either financially, mentally, or you don't have any kind of mentors or things like that. It's gonna take a lot of grit, a lot of guts to come out here and try to do something on your own. But it's very possible, very doable. I truly believe if you have a strong work ethic, you can do it. If you have the will, you have the heart, you have the desire, you can definitely do it. I don't see why you can't. So I'll kind of give you a little bit of background about myself. So I didn't come from money. My parents didn't have money. My mom and dad worked multiple jobs. I did go to college, worked my way through college, working 2 jobs. Yeah, I didn't even know what AC air conditioning was. So I was like 17 years old. We couldn't afford it. So yeah, so it takes a lot of work, and seeing my parents struggle, that's what kind of steered me in this direction to want to do better for myself financially, so I'm not in that position where I'm struggling. In the end, guys, what I've learned is that it's not about how much money you make, it's how do you handle your money. I see people who make $60,000 a year doing better than people who make twice that, $120,000 a year. What's up, big girl? Tavia, come here. Good girl. So we kind of got a little off track there, but another thing it's like being kind of unemployed or being able to make your own schedule is that you have the freedom to do whatever you want when you want. In this case, it's a Wednesday, walking around on my trails with my dogs, enjoying the cooler weather, which it's about to rain here. At least it looks like it is. Like I said, a Wednesday midday, cloudy, great weather. If I had a job, I wouldn't be able to do this right now. And like I said, I'm able to spend more time with my family, fiance. We get to go out and go out to eat whenever we want, movies, late nights, whatever we want to do, we can do it. So for you guys watching, you may have kids, you may have elderly parents, you may have other situations. Being not employed gives you that opportunity, that freedom to choose what you want to do. If you want to spend time with your kids, spend time with your husband, wife, significant others, parents, whatever situation you are in, you are given that freedom by not having a job. Like I said, for me, it's brought me a lot more peace of mind. So yeah, it's not about how much you make, it's about how you handle the money. Your financial education is going to play a big role on all of that. People think that just because you make $200,000 a year that your financial issues are automatically solved. It's not the case. I worked with people who made much more than that. And trust me, it didn't make things any better. It actually probably made things worse because the financial education wasn't there. So keep that in mind. It's provided me with a lot less stress. There's still stresses with owning your own businesses and having your own investments and things like that. There's still stress, but it's nowhere near the amount of stress that I had when I was employed. So like I said, it's nowhere near that. It's totally different because it's kind of dependent on you, and in my case it's a little easier because you are a little more in control of your income versus relying on somebody else. Because at the snap of a finger, all that can be gone if you place your well-being or your livelihood in somebody else's hands versus if you put it in your own. Very different. So I put this video together just to kind of inspire, provide a little insight to those who may be on the edge. Whether or not you want to, go through with this, go out and venture out on your own. I don't believe in living life with any regrets. I don't want to be 60 years old and wishing I started that business, wishing I quitted that job. I don't want to look back 40 years from now and I'm still in that same job and I'm not happy and wishing I would have done more in my early years. So that's the reason this video is made. If you are, you know, early 20s, 30s, 40s, whatever, I mean, it's never too late, honestly, and you're thinking about it, kind of get your ducks in a row prior. I personally wouldn't just jump with no knowledge, no, you know, anything to go off on. But I know people have and have been successful, so I'm not saying it's impossible. But that's kind of how I did. I kind of started building up my background a little bit for about a year and a half before jumping ship. But would I recommend it? Yes. As far as stress wise, I have these little stress monitors on my wrist, and I got a leaf here. I have these little stress monitors. So when I was working at a job, stress levels were about 70-80% stress, which is a lot. So since leaving, my stress levels have dropped to about 15 to 20%, which is below normal, below average, whatever you want to call it. So typically it's between 40 and 50% is about average. So yeah, it's dropped off a lot since leaving the job, and it's I'm definitely a lot more happier, a lot more content. It's a lot more challenging, I would say, here now, but like I said, I'm a lot more happier, and that's more important to me than anything else. I'm in charge of my own destiny at this point. I'm in charge of my own income. So, but yeah, guys, I just wanted to put this video together for those of you guys who may be wondering, questioning, is it worth it? How serious are you about jumping ship, starting your own business, becoming an entrepreneur, becoming an investor? This video is for you guys who, like I said, are just on the fence about it, not sure. There's a bunny right there, and there they go, going to explore. So yeah, guys, I just want to put this video out there for those of you guys who are on the fence about, you know, jumping ship, becoming an entrepreneur, becoming an investor, business owner, whatever the case may be. This video is for you guys because it's tough, it's scary. You know, a job provides that security of, quote unquote, security of income to support your family or yourself. So leaving that is risky for most of us, as we're taught, you know, go to school, get a good job, get those benefits, stay there for 30, 40 years, and retire and enjoy the golden years. So that's how I used to be. That's how I was taught. That's what I always believed. It wasn't until I got, you know, closer to, I would say 22, 23 years old, after my mom passed away, really, that I started realizing life is short, that I needed to make a change if I really wanted to enjoy my years today, not 50 years from now. So that's kind of where it all started for me. But yeah, guys, for those of y'all who are on the fence, I would definitely say do it. Just educate yourself, build up a good solid plan before you just jump ship, because it's really going to be difficult if you don't. But like I said, it's tough, but I wouldn't do anything any differently. I'm glad I did what I did, and for those of you guys, I wish you the best of luck. And without further ado, guys, be careful, be good, take care, and God bless. And we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.